Hey, first grade, today we're going to watch a Scholastic News called Happy Veterans Day. But first, we'll watch our video.
Thank you, veterans. What is a veteran? A veteran is someone who has served in the armed forces. Every U.S. veteran has served in one of the 6 branches of the armed forces: the Army, the Marine Corps, the Navy, the Air Force, the Coast Guard, and Space Force. Each branch has a different job to do. For example, the Army mostly works on land. The Air Force works in the sky. People in the Air Force fly planes and helicopters. People in the Navy, the Marines, and the Coast Guard all spend a lot of time at sea, but they can have other jobs too. For example, some people in the Navy fly jets. The branches are separate, but they often work together. They might work as a team to rescue someone who is hurt at sea. The President of the United States is in charge of all the branches. Under the Constitution, the President is the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces. On November 11th, we celebrate Veterans Day. We honor men and women who have served in the armed forces. We honor veterans because they trained hard to do their jobs. Some were medics and helped people who were hurt. Some drove tanks. And some people even worked on submarines. All of them were brave. You might know a veteran. Maybe someone in your family or in your neighborhood is a veteran. We can say thank you to veterans every day of the year. But Veterans Day is an especially great time to do it. Thank you, veterans.
What is a veteran? Talk about it. Happy Veterans Day. A veteran is someone who worked in the armed forces. Veterans are brave. What did these brave people do? Hooray for brave veterans! As you read, imagine what it would be like to do each thing. Brave veterans worked hard. Veterans had to train. They worked hard. They made their bodies strong. Some veterans had to do hundreds of push-ups. Can you imagine doing that many push-ups? Brave veterans had to work far from home. Some veterans had to go far away to do their jobs. They missed their families. This was hard. They talked to them on the phone or computer. Can you imagine working far from home? Brave veterans learned new things. Some veterans learned how to jump out of helicopters. That's a scary thing to do. But veterans are courageous. Can you imagine jumping out of a helicopter? Thank you, brave dogs. Dogs can be veterans too. They helped people in the armed forces. Can you finish this rhyme? We thank these dogs for help they gave. We thank these dogs for being... Some veteran dogs helped on helicopters.
let's work on our Scholastic News, the comprehension questions that go along with our story for today. Number 1, what is a veteran? Someone who has worked in the armed forces, a kind of helicopter, or someone who has worked at the store? What? You're right. Number 2, some veterans had to work far from home. How did they talk to their families? Go back in your Scholastic News and see if you can find how veterans who were far away from their home talked to their families. They used a phone or a computer. Number 3, you're going to have to do this one by yourself. It says, draw yourself talking to your family from far away. Remember, if you need to pause your video, you can do that and then catch up. Number 4, veterans do things that are scary. They are courageous. You are going to tell a time when you were courageous. Remember, courageous is brave. It's being able to do something when you're scared. Think about a time when you were courageous, and I want you to tell me what happened. Remember, you can pause your video if you need extra time. All right, let's flip over on the back. Today, you're going to talk about the main idea and the details of the story. So the main idea, that means what the story is mostly about, is brave veterans did different things. Now, each of the details gives something that the veterans did to support the fact that they do lots of different things. Number 1, brave veterans worked hard. So you are going to go back to your Scholastic News and tell me something that a veteran did that shows that they work super hard. Did you say veterans train hard so they can be strong? Then you would be right. Let's look at the next detail. Remember, the detail supports the idea that the veterans do lots of different things. It says, brave veterans worked far from home. So you're going to go back in the story and find something that supports the idea that they worked far from home. Remember, you can pause your video if you need to catch up. Did you say that brave veterans missed their families? You would be right. And the last detail says, brave veterans learned new things. You are going to have to do this one on your own. You are going to go back to your Scholastic News and you are going to tell me some things that veterans learned. Great job, first grade.